Welcome to qnawire.
In this problem, we have to find the needed velocity for a dryer to spin to cause a frequency, revolutions per second, so that the clothes drop off the surface of the dryer at a given angle. Now, the thing that we need to remember when approaching this problem is what it means mathematically for something to lose contact with the surface, and that occurs whenever the normal force is equal to zero, as I've written here. You might remember from your textbook that whenever the normal force is greater than zero, we will remain in contact. Whenever it's less than or equal to zero, we'll fly off. So that's the property that we need to look at here. Now, in order to start doing the problem, let's draw a free body diagram for our object on the surface of the dryer first. We imagine this curve as the surface of the dryer at a given point and the red dot as our item of clothing. We can see that we'll have a normal force pointing perpendicular to the surface and a gravitational force pointing inward towards the ground. Now, we want to find which force is responsible for the centripetal motion of the piece of clothing in our dryer. Now, the normal force is pointing away, so we know that won't be contributing, but we can split up our gravitational force into two components, like so. And from this, we can see that the centripetal force, must be created by Fg times the sine of 70, which is the angle theta that we're given in the problem. So we can say that mv squared over r equals mg sine of 70. Now we can solve for v by plugging in. Our m's will cancel out, and we get that v is equal to g sine of 70 times our radius. Plugging in the values that we know, g is 9.8 meters per second squared, the radius is 0.32 meters, times the sine of 70, a constant. We find that our velocity is equal to 1.72 meters per second. Now we're asked to find frequency, so we have to remember what the formula for that is. Now frequency is given by omega over 2 pi. If you can't remember that, you can remember that t is 2 pi over omega, and frequency is the inverse of t. This equation for frequency can be rewritten as v over 2 pi r. And now we can plug in the values that we just got. 1.72 meters per second over 2 pi times 0.32. And we find that the frequency needed for our clothing to lose contact with the dryer at 70 degrees is 0.85 revolutions per second, which is the final answer to our problem.